Hello, and welcome to an introduction to Roman numeral analysis. In this video, we will learn to analyze harmony in a diatonic piece of music in a major key using Roman numeral analysis. What is Roman numeral analysis? In harmonic analysis, we can use Roman numerals to indicate the scale degree of the root of the chord as well as the quality of the chord. In today's video, we will learn the chord qualities of triads based on each scale degree in a major key. We will also learn how to notate these triads using Roman numeral notation. There are four main types of triads that can be represented by Roman numerals. Major triads are represented by an uppercase Roman numeral. Minor triads are represented by a lowercase Roman numeral. Diminished triads are represented by a lowercase Roman numeral similar to a minor triad, but with a small circle. Augmented triads are represented by an uppercase Roman numeral similar to a major triad, but with a small plus sign. In a major key, major, minor, and diminished triads can be diatonic. Let's take a look at how these triads function within a major key. Let's consider the C major scale. In the C major scale, each diatonic pitch can relate to a scale degree number, with C being 1, D being 2, E being 3, and so on. These scale degree numbers tell us which Roman numeral will be used for a triad with this scale degree as the root. For example, the C triad in C major will be the Roman numeral 1. Since the triad C-E-G is a major triad, this will be represented by an uppercase Roman numeral 1. The triad built off of scale degree 2 in C major, D-F-A, is the D minor chord. Because it is a minor triad built off of scale degree 2, it will be represented by a lowercase Roman numeral 2. Similarly to Roman numeral 2, the triad built off of scale degree 3 in C major is E-G-B, the E minor chord. Because it is a minor triad built off of scale degree 3, it will be represented by a lowercase Roman numeral 3. The fourth and fifth scale degrees, F and G, make the F major and G major chord. Because the chords are major, they will be represented by Roman numerals 4 and 5, respectively. The triad built off of scale degree 6 is the minor chord A-C-E. Because it is a minor triad built off of scale degree 6, we will use the lowercase Roman numeral 6. The seventh scale degree, B, creates the diminished triad B-D-F. Because this chord is diminished, we will be represented by the lowercase Roman numeral 7 with a small circle. Finally, we return back to C and the C major chord, thus we return to uppercase Roman numeral 1. In all major keys, the 1, 4, and 5 triads are major, the 2, 3, and 6 triads are all minor, and the 7 triad is diminished. Because of this, each key uses the same Roman numerals for its diatonic triads. Let's take a look at one more example. In the key of A major, we have a completely new set of chords and completely different notes assigned to each scale degree, with A being 1, B being 2, C sharp being 3, and so on. However, the scale degree number and quality of each triad does not change, so the same Roman numerals are used but assigned to a new set of chords. The intervals in each major scale are the same. Remember the whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half formula? So the qualities of the diatonic triads are also the same. Now, how do we apply this information to a piece of music? Here, we have a simple chord progression that we can analyze using Roman numerals. Before we begin, let's listen to the progression. we must take a look at the key signature. It looks like we're in the key of F major. When completing a Roman numeral analysis, it is important to include the key that you are analyzing in. The Roman numerals only do so much without knowing which pitches and triads they correspond to. Now, let's take a look at our triads. Right away, I see that the root of the first chord is F. Since we are in the key of F major, we will use an uppercase Roman numeral 1 for this chord, which is built off of the first scale degree. The next triad is built on scale degree 5 in F major. As we mentioned before, all diatonic triads in a major key starting on scale degree 1, 4, and 5 will be major, so we can label this C major chord with an uppercase Roman numeral 5. The third triad is built on scale degree 6 in F major. As we mentioned before, all diatonic triads in a major key starting on scale degree 2, 3, and 6 will be minor, so we can label this D minor chord with a lowercase Roman numeral 6. The fourth triad is built on scale degree 4 in F major. The major triad built on scale degree 4 is labeled with an uppercase Roman numeral 4. Last but not least, we end with a tonic triad, which must of course receive the label of uppercase Roman numeral 1. Now that the analysis has been completed, let's listen to the progression again. Not all music, however, looks as simple as this chord progression, of course. Let's take a look at a piece of music that we can apply these skills to. Here are the first 4 measures of Pachelbel's canon in D. If you know this piece already, you probably know that the chord progression repeats itself, so we really just need to analyze the first 4 measures to understand the basic harmonic progression of the entire piece. In case you aren't already familiar, here is how these first 4 measures sound. First, we must determine the key of the piece. Luckily, Pachelbel made it easy for us by using the key of the piece right in the title, so let's label this as D major right off the bat. Now, let's take a look at the first measure. It begins with D, A, D, F sharp. This looks like a D major chord to me, but let's take a look at the rest of the measure. Next, we have A, E, A, C sharp. This spells out an A major triad, so it is seeming pretty safe to assume that there will be 2 different Roman numerals needed for this measure. Going back to the D, A, D, F sharp triad, this is a D major chord with D in the bass. Since D is scale degree 1 in D major, we can assign this triad an uppercase Roman numeral 1. We already determined that we will need a second Roman numeral in this measure, and that it must include the pitches A, E, A, and C sharp. This is an A major triad, and A is the 5th scale degree in D major. So we can safely label this with an uppercase Roman numeral 5. In our next measure, we have the notes B, F sharp, B, D, followed by F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, A. B, F sharp, B, D is a B minor chord, and B is the 6th scale degree in D major. So this can be labeled with a lowercase Roman numeral 6. The remaining notes, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, A, spell out an F sharp minor triad. F sharp is the 3rd scale degree in D major, so we will label this as a lowercase Roman numeral 3. Following the same harmonic rhythm, the next two measures will also each receive 2 Roman numerals each. Measure 3 has the pitches G, D, G, B, forming a G major triad, followed by D, A, D, F sharp, forming a D major triad. G is the 4th scale degree in D major, and D is the 1st scale degree in D major, so this measure receives uppercase Roman numerals 4 and 1. The last measure also contains 2 triads. First, G, D, G, B, which as analyzed in the previous measure should receive uppercase Roman numeral 4. Finally, we have the pitches A, E, A, C sharp, which form an A major triad. A is the 5th scale degree in D major, so this final triad is labeled with uppercase Roman numeral 5. Let's take a listen to this phrase one final time. Hearing this progression along with the labeled Roman numerals is an organized way of showing that although the rest of the piece develops and changes, the harmonic progression stays the same throughout. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and come back next time to hear about chord inversions.